Now that we've explored some innovative wine accessories, let's start our wine tasting. Two E's is a local winery in Fort Wayne that wants you to quench your thirst for extraordinary. Husband and wife owners Eric and Emily Harris started their business in 2013 and offers a unique wine portfolio. And joining me today is founder Eric Harris. Hi, Eric.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yep, good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Well, I'm sure National Wine Day is exciting for you all.
Oh, very, very. Yeah.
Yes, and I know that your winery offers so many different things. So let's start off by just giving us an overview about Two E's.
Well, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is making wines that you can't find just anywhere. We do have wines that might be familiar, but there's also wines that might make you step outside your comfort zone a little bit.
Right.
And we always feel like that's a good thing because it starts to kind of prompt you to want to ask more questions and learn more about wine. And anytime anybody's immersed in wine culture in the area, we're proud to be a part of it.
Yes, and where did the name Two E's come from? Well, Eric and Emily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And what type of services do you offer at your winery?
So there's a couple different ways to enjoy Two E's. We have just walk-in service. You can do carry-out. We like to have reservations so that we know to expect you, we can prepare, but you can also walk in. If you want to just enjoy the patio, you can buy a glass of wine or a bottle of wine, order food, and just enjoy yourself. But
yes,
we also offer what I would recommend anybody try, especially if it's their first time visit or if they haven't been in a while, do the seated wine and food pairing.
Oh.
So each wine is picked and there's a food selection that goes along with it that's expertly paired. And my staff that performs the wine tastings is very well trained and knows all about how to walk you through how to enjoy the wine best and how to enjoy it with food as well.
Yes, okay, that's perfect. Well, I'm so excited to start tasting some of the options that we have today. And these selections are so unique. I mean, some of them I have not heard of, have not tried, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I brought some wild stuff, a couple more familiar ones, but this is just kind of a quick example of what we're all about. So the first wine I'll pour for you is a sparkling rosé. We call it bubbly, and we use two E's. I'll let you guess why. But Champagne is a region in France, and they hold that name pretty tight to their chest. They don't let anybody call it that. In the U.S., if it's sparkling wine, typically in this method, we would refer to it as bubbly.
Bubbly.
So,
little bubbly.
And it's typically served in a champagne flute like this, but you can also enjoy it in a regular wine glass. Sometimes that gives you a better opportunity to enjoy the aromatics of it.
Yes.
But a lot of people like flutes because one of the other things that's appealing about wine is being able to see the bubbles and enjoy them kind of floating up to the top of the glass.
Oh, yes.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Happy National Wine Day.
Yes. It smells so good. There's nothing like some bubbly. And this is nice because it's a brut rosé.
Correct, yeah.
That means it's not that sweet.
Right.
It's okay, we'll move on to the next.
So the next wine I want you to try, we'll use these glasses.
Okay.
And these are the glasses that we use in the tasting experience at the winery and also on the patio.
Oh,
they're
wonderful.
really, really nice for enjoying wine. Really delicate rim, very lightweight. I have these glasses at home. I took them from the winery, but we sell them.
These are the official glasses from Two E's.
These are the official glasses. We sell them. They're great.
Yes, well, wonderful. So what are we trying?
This is Brianna, and this is the name of the grape, actually. And the grapes are grown here locally in Columbia City. And there's a lot of other local wineries making Brianna, and there's several renditions of it. So ours we like to produce in an off-dry fashion, so not super sweet, but a noticeable residual sugar.
Well, it smells so nice. I mean, it must have, what does it have, peach in it, or what are the flavor notes?
So we put pineapple, grapefruit, papaya as some of the primary tasting notes on this wine. And it's always up for interpretation too. I never tell anybody that they're wrong.
Right. All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Okay.
So you'll pick up on some of that residual sugar. It's just slightly sweet. but in a balanced way. It doesn't
Right.
finish sweet, it finishes kind of dry. You pick up on a lot of that acidity that's intrinsic in that variety.
Yes.
This
I
is a
like
nice
it.
wine chilled on a hot summer day.
Exactly, and it's perfect for people who do they like to gravitate towards the sweeter palate because this is really refreshing. So you get both that sweetness and that hit of that citrus.
Yeah, and if you
tart.
gravitate towards sweeter wines, but you want to reduce your sugar intake, wines that are in the off-dry category are going to be really good for you in terms of helping to monitor your sugar intake, keep it a little bit lower.
Okay, what's
All right,
next, Eric?
so the next wine that I want you to try is our mead. We spell it M-E-E-D, but typically if you were to want to Google mead as a style of wine, you would want to type in M-E-A-D. Again, just a little play on the two E's. But what
Yes.
makes this wine special for us is, and this is kind of where we're going off the beaten path, mead is a wine made from honey. And honey is a natural preservative. It doesn't want to ferment, so it can be very, very tricky. And so you have to be very scientific. You have to know a lot about the initial juice content that you're working with. The analysis is very, very important. We took it a little bit of a different approach. So my head winemaker's from the UK, and this is an English style mead. So a lot of times you'll find mead in a brewery. It's just honey and the grain bill mixed together, or you'll find it in a more common style where it's carbonated and served out of a keg and mixed with fruit.
Right.
This is a still wine, and we finished it in Tokai casks that we got from Hungary.
Wow.
So it's a really, really special wine. It took a long time to produce, but we're very proud of it. Slight
Cheers.
residual sugar from honey mixed in after fermentation.
Oh wow, this is honey reimagined.
Yeah.
Like I can taste it within the swallow, but it's also it has a lingering feel to it, like honey does, which is nice.
You might say honey with a buzz.
Good one.
Sorry. All right. So these are wine glasses that we use for our wine club members.
Yes, these are beautiful. Okay, tell me about your wine club.
So the wine club it comes with all kinds of benefits. Free tasting experience for you and 5 guests. You are going to receive a shipment of, or you can do pickup, 6 bottles of wine twice a year, and it's $250 per release, no other fees associated.
Yeah.
And we also have discounts on food, merchandise, event rental fees, and an additional 5% off on bottles of wine purchased. So it's a great deal.
Awesome.
But you get access to wines that are not available to other guests that visit us. Only Clandestine Wine Society members get access to these wines. And I
Okay.
brought one of them. We'll try that last.
But I want to know what this is. How do you even say it?
Aglianico. So it's got a hard G in it. A lot of people just presume because it looks like it's of Spanish origin that the G would be an H sound, but Aglianico is the name of the grape.
Okay.
It's Italian in origin, and it typically makes a very deep red wine. It's destined for the ages usually. So right here we've got a 2020. You could age this for another 5, 10, even 15 years if you wanted to.
Oh, this color is beautiful. Wow. And then getting that swirl on it. Okay. What I like about this is it feels very just pure. Like I don't know, if I feel like I'm just getting just the flavors without the thickness, if that makes sense. Like, you know how sometimes you can swallow a wine and there's levels and layers? This one, you can taste it on arrival, but it just feels lighter.
My impression of this wine is it's just very drinkable. It's a
Yes.
great food wine. It's not overpowering. It's not going to weigh heavy on the palate. It's just one where you can continue to enjoy it sip after sip while you're having a nice meal and not feel like, oh gosh, more of this.
See, you just
leaves
said
you
that
wanting
perfectly.
more.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it just feels light. Like it feels like it's easy to drink and it's not
Sessionable.
heavy on the tongue. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay.
So next we have Syrah.
Look at that color.
Yeah, it's a little more of a full-bodied
Beautiful.
wine.
Let's put that right there. better.
Yeah, we should. So another 2020, this is a higher alcohol by volume wine. We're at about 14.9%. Notes of blueberry, pepper, vanilla. We also really felt strongly about this one on the nose. We get notes of coconut and chocolate, almost like a Mounds candy bar.
Wow. Let's talk about the swirling effect a
Sure.
bit. So, of course, we learn to swirl, to look at the legs, to smell. How does that influence the taste?
So, wine has a complicated relationship with oxygen. Until the bottle is opened, we want to mitigate oxygen exposure as much as possible.
Okay.
But when it's time to enjoy a wine, oxygen can be the friend of the person enjoying that wine in the sense that it opens up all those flavors that have just kind of been held in place by the lack of oxygen. People often ask me why.
The smell. Oh my gosh, this smell.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
So people often ask me, what's the way to taste wine? There's a few things that you're not supposed to do, but really just two things you don't want to do.
Okay.
The rest of it is kind of up to you. First thing you want to do, if you have a wine glass with a stem, you always want to hold the stem.
Oh, to not warm the wine?
It's not really a matter of whether or not you're affecting the temperature of the wine. It's more just a matter of you're going to, believe it or not, have a better grip on the wine, and it's much easier to swirl.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
less of a movement. So you always want to hold the stem from an etiquette standpoint. And the only other thing you want to do that I see a lot that I'd like for people to change this habit, but I know how exciting it is when you get a little taste of wine. You want to just take it straight to the dome.
Yeah.
You want to smell it first because the smell is just such a big part of enjoying wine. And so it's always important to smell the wine first and handle the stem.
Okay, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Smells good.
Oh, yeah. This is one I would pair with lasagna or something really rich, a big
The
steak.
flavors. I can taste the vanilla. The vanilla hits me first. I know you said that there's pepper in it, so that gives a little spice. And I taste berry, of course, with the grape. What berry is in this?
Well, that's another one of those situations where it's individually specific. I can't tell you
It's
what
a
you're
dark
smelling,
berry.
but
I taste a dark berry.
well,
in this.
we put blueberry as a
Okay.
note on there, and
Okay.
blueberries are pretty dark, and I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah. So Eric, we talked about your wine club.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next and last wine that we're going to taste is a specialty wine from that, correct? All right, tell me all about it.
So the wines that are exclusive to wine club members are a catalog of our wines that we refer to as Tonneau Choisi. It's French for chosen barrel.
Wow.
When we go to bottle, say for example a batch of Aglianico, Syrah, whatever, we'll sample through every single barrel. It's a tough day, believe me. But
Somebody's got to do it.
yeah,
It's a hard job.
it's a really tough job. But we sample through every single barrel and we make notes on each barrel.
Wow.
And over the years, we just kind of say to ourselves, gosh, if we could just bottle this one barrel on its own, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of created this wine club around that concept where we can pick that one barrel out and bottle it just for the people who appreciate what we do and appreciate the exclusivity of the finer things that we do. This is cask, and we call it cask because it's a port-style wine, and we made it in a very traditional method, traditional to Portugal, where the wine is finished and aged in large format French oak casks. So this was aged in a 1,000-liter cask. Real big.
Wow.
And such a cool piece of equipment to have in the winery.
Right.
But it's made from Touriga Nacional grapes, which are native to Portugal, grown for us here in the United States. And a port-style wine is a wine that is what's referred to as fortified. So brandy spirits, ethanol made from finished wine, is added during the fermentation process to stop alcoholic fermentation. It brings the alcohol level up to a point where yeast die off. They can no longer ferment, so there's a higher residual sugar and there's a higher alcohol content.
Isn't he amazing? Oh my gosh, he is a wine encyclopedia. This is great.
I've heard that before.
You have? Ooh, I can smell the brandy. Whoa. Wow. Okay, let's do it. Whew. I have to tell you something, Eric.
Okay.
You have made me have a different outlook on ports.
Nice.
Okay, because I'm not a sweetsy, person where I just love all the sweet stuff. I like it dry, I like it oaky, I like it buttery. And so I don't gravitate towards the sweet wine, but the way that you described it in the process and knowing the infusion, I can taste the levels and the layers of it now. So I have a better appreciation for a port. All right, well, awesome. Thank you so much, Eric, for the information. The wines are delicious. I have to choose my favorite. I do Jessica's favorite pick.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys probably already know I gravitated toward the Syrah. So good. So many flavors, the vanilla, the berries, the deliciousness, and of course, we cannot forget the bubbly. The bubbly is amazing. Okay, well, thanks so much. If you want more information about Two EEs Winery, we'll have their website listed below. Check out all of their selections and also check out their wine club. We'll be right back.